mixologist Burnice. So glad to see ya.
Freaking. Please, just take it. Just take it. Just come on. Don't be shy. Oh my freaking god. Bye, Caesar. Goodbye, Caesar. That's it. I'm sorry, lady. Like, you're really cool and everything, but you just gotta go. Hello, Degens. This character has actually shot up through the ranks. She is number 2, definitely for me. I know yesterday I said freaking Caesar was number 2. She is number 2. My number 1 is still gonna be our main character, Belle, because I am just a mega simp for Belle. But Burnice, holy crap, close second, my guys. Close second. And number 3 for me, it's still gonna be Ellen. I did think about it for a while. I know I'm being a little bit of a simp in the start of this video. You guys, just let me be a little bit of a degen, okay? But oh my god. Holy crap, they actually nailed the design. They really said, let's go print more money. Let's get more of the normies. Like me. Dear Lord, like holy. Oh my god, I didn't even see that midriff. Okay. Let's calm down a little bit. Let's calm down. Oh, let's calm down a little bit and talk about Burnice herself and why I'm actually really excited to see her outside of her gorgeous design. So Burnice has been revealed to be a fire anomaly character, and the reason why her release is going to be so impactful is because it's going to mark the point in time in which we will have 2 S-rank, limited S-rank anomaly characters available to us. So I'm talking the Jane Doe, who is about to come immediately before Burnice in the 1.1 patch, and then we have Burnice herself. So we've got Jane Doe physical, which is assault, and then Burnice, who we can assume will be doing burn damage. And if you're still not convinced she's going to be burning you, well then have a look at this, because she's got literally a flamethrower pack on her back and 2 flamethrowers right here. It's just like kind of thing, you know? And so the reason why this is so interesting is because it is time for the anomaly attribute meta to develop. So as you can see here, we have this tier list and we've got such a massive gap between the limited DPSs, like the crit based DPSs, and the ones that are available in the permanent pool. To be honest, I do agree there is a massive gap between these two. And so with the release of Jane Doe, the rat, I do think we will probably see a similar shift here where Grace might actually get pushed down to T1, or she might stay at T0.5, but there is without a doubt that she is going to occupy the T0 spot for anomaly DPS. However, when Jane Doe becomes available, we're probably going to see teams like Jane Doe plus Grace, and then we're going to have some kind of support. Best in slot support will probably be Rena, but the other alternative is probably looking like your Necromata plus your Jane Doe plus some kind of stunner, something like that, right? Where your Jane Doe is going to be kind of replacing your Piper in your Necromata teams. And so why I'm so excited about seeing Burnice and her fire anomaly is because she plus Jane Doe is going to open up attribute anomaly disorder at the limited S rank kind of level. I'm talking at like the T0 level. It's going to be really awesome to see how exactly anomaly DPSs at their peak performance is going to compare against our traditional pure DPSs, crit DPSs. And so yeah, while I am like so freaking hyped to be seeing Burnice because her design is actually like freaking top tier, I do think that this is going to be the start of the Kafka plus Black Swan kind of meta, like the damage over time synergy, the 1+1 is equal to 3 kind of thing. From a meta point of view, I think it's just going to be so interesting. That's the first thing. The second thing are these flamethrowers that she's holding on to. Now, this is pure speculation, but I do think that we might get a new type of playstyle with her and the flamethrowers, right? Because generally speaking, flamethrowers, you hold it down and go like kind of thing, you know? And we actually do have somebody that already plays like this, right? With the Koran and her chainsaw, she kind of does like a little wind up and then she gets the chainsaw, sticks it into the guy's ass and goes like zzz kind of thing, you know? And so I'm going to be really keen to see if Burnice is actually going to play in a similar way to Koran. It is certainly a very different playstyle. It is a little bit slow, but we'll see. With all of that being said, there are a few things that I did want to address in regards to Burnice. And the first thing is that people are thinking that she is going to end up being an A rank. Now, the reason why people think that is because, for example, in 1.1, Qingyi, she was the first one to be dropped in the drip marketing. And then after Qingyi, who is an S rank, we go up a little bit and we're going to see your boy Seth over here, Seth Lau. And Seth does turn out to be an A rank. So some people are saying that, okay, well, because Burnice is second, she is going to be an A rank. I don't think so. I think that what happened in the previous banners is that we got Qingyi and Seth, both are PubSec, because if we go over to Jane Doe, and it is a little bit of scrolling, I'm sorry, but here we go, you will notice that she actually technically officially does not have a faction. And traditionally in Hoyo games, we get S rank and then S rank and then A rank, or 5-star, 5-star, 4-star in terms of drip marketing order. In the case of Jane Doe and the rest of the PubSec characters, I do think that it was an anomaly. Get it? I do think that it was SAS because Jane Doe is considered on the public facing side to be a different faction. And so therefore, I do think that Burnice is going to follow the more traditional pattern, SSA, Caesar, Burnice, S's, and then A lighter. I don't know about you guys, but I do think that they are going to do our boy Lighter dirty. And if you guys don't know who Lighter is, this is Lighter over here. You do see him sometimes like this, where he's just hanging around like Lumina Square. I do think that he is going to be an A rank. I think that Hoyoverse are really doing like the back-to-back waifus just to really milk the shit out of the launch numbers. Now, that said, I am happy to be proven wrong. If Burnice does end up to be an A rank, hell, that just means I get to save more. And so that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing is actually in regards to a little bit more of a meta talk. I know it looks a little bit nerdy, but stay with me, my guys. All right, so I'm gonna scroll up a little bit and get to the elemental specific ones. So here we've got Burn, we've got Shock, Corruption, all of that. What I do want to point out, and what a lot of people have actually been talking about is, well, Burn is actually like the least multiplier, right? It's like the least effective attribute anomaly because 50% times attack, we've got a 50% multiplier, and this is going to occur 20 times because it happens one time per 0.5 seconds, which is also 2 times per second over 10 seconds, which means that Burn in a nutshell does about 1000% times damage. And then when you compare that to some of the other ones, like Shock would be 125% 10 times, that becomes 1250%, and then Corruption, it's 62.5 times 20 times. This figure is already more than the Burn, so it's like definitely better. And then we've got a couple more, right? So what some people are doing is that they are undervaluing the Burn because of its lower ratios. And so to compensate for a lower ratio, what I would hope to see from Burnice or any other fire anomalies is potentially maybe faster ramp up time, maybe a little bit more anomaly mastery, something like that, right? But the other thing is that even though these ratios are better, like the 125% or like the 62.5% or whatever, when you bring a burn unit or a fire unit to something that is fire weak, what a lot of people forget is that we still get a 20% resistance deduction on the enemy. For argument's sake, it's about like a 20% extra damage done to the enemy, which these ones just can't compensate with. Like, even though this is actually like 25% better than your burn damage, taking a burn-based team in against organic enemies is still going to be better because of that 20% extra damage, but also you've got the interruption to the specific race. And so yeah, I don't think you should worry too much about this ratio over here. I'm sure that they are going to balance around it. That being said though, coming back to Burnice, man, I am just so freaking excited. Burnice Jane Doe, who would be the third character? Now, I know this is a little bit of copium, but I'm really hoping that Burnice is actually going to come with something like, oh, to trigger my additional ability like this one over here, when another character in your squad is like sharing the same faction, but also anomaly character. I'm really hoping that Burnice is going to be able to trigger her additional ability with anomaly character, which means we can take the Jane Doe. That would actually be so freaking lit. Or if Jane Doe and Burnice both took a support character, something like that, right? And then so we can take both of them in with whichever support we want. So thinking along the lines of a Jane Doe plus Burnice team, I'm thinking Jane Doe, Burnice, and probably Lucy over here. The reason is because she is A, fire element, but also B, also part of Sons of Calydon. The last reason would be that Lucy gives an attack buff. So on her EX skill, she gives everybody cheer on, which is this buff down here, and you get a bunch of attack. Now, remember that attack is relevant for anomaly, for those burns, for those corruptions, everything that we saw over here, it does only scale on attack. It does not scale on crit damage, anything else. Really, all you're looking for is attack and penetration. Lucy covers that certainly. And so hopefully we'll be getting a lot of burns. I'm wondering if we are going to get like some kind of physical support soon, because I think that's the last one we're missing in terms of the support roster. And for some reason, Nicole is still at tier 1, which is kind of freaking weird. But yeah, that's kind of like my initial thoughts in terms of Burnice. I'm super keen to see such a cute character coming to the roster, but I'm equally excited to see where exactly it's going to take us from a meta point of view. And yeah, this is probably one of the only times that I'll actually say this changes a lot of things. It doesn't change everything, but it does change a lot of things. Should you roll for Qingyi? Should you roll for Jane and Burnice? Should you roll for only one of them? It's actually gotten so much more interesting with the announcement of a fire anomaly so early on. To be honest, seeing her flamethrowers actually makes a lot of sense in terms of her being a fire anomaly, but I was actually thinking that we'd be getting a fire attacker, like a crit damage base unit. That said though, I do want to hear your thoughts on all of this. Do you guys think that Burnice is going to be the S rank unit or the A rank unit? Between Burnice and Caesar, who are you more hyped for? And seeing that Burnice is indeed a fire anomaly, are you going to skip more characters? Are you going to go for the Jane Doe plus Burnice kind of combo? Let us know down in the comments below. I'm really keen to see what you guys say. That said though, this is the end of the video. Welcome Burnice. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.